Hey, besties.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode of the Hello Bestie podcast. I'm Maggie.
I'm Tashima.
How you doing this fine Tuesday, teams?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Me too. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Besties, do y'all see this? Do you see what we have going on here? Adorbs.
Cut my hair. Out with the old, in with the new.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Quick tea for the week before we get into our first thread.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for borrowing my neighbor's furniture for a party? Everyone involved is in their 50s. I hosted a big backyard get-together last weekend for my wife's birthday, about 30 people. We live in a suburban neighborhood where most houses have good-sized yards. Everyone in the neighborhood has a friendly relationship, but not necessarily super close. My next-door neighbor named Glenn travels a lot for work. His backyard is really nice. Really nice patio furniture, umbrellas, propane fire pit, etc. I've complimented it before and helped him haul the furniture in once during a storm, so I feel like we're on good terms. He's also borrowed shovels, rakes, etc. we've had in the yard when we weren't home, letting us know later. No problem, no biggie. The day before the party, I realized we didn't have enough seating. Rental companies were all booked, first nice weekend of spring here, and we didn't want people standing around. Glenn was out of town, car gone, lights were off for days, and his gate was unlocked. I figured it wouldn't be a huge deal to temporarily move a few of his chairs and one of his smaller tables into our yard for the party, to be returned ASAP. We took care not to damage anything, wiped it all down afterwards, and put it back exactly where it was the next morning, or so I thought, must not have been exactly where for what follows. I didn't think anything of it. Monday, Glenn knocked on my door looking pissed. He asked if we'd taken his stuff. I told him we had, explained why, emphasized that nothing was harmed and that obviously we would have asked if he was home. He told me that was completely out of line and I quote, a massive invasion of his property. Even though nothing was broken or missing. I tried to smooth things over, said it wasn't like we were strangers and if the roles were reversed as in the past with things he'd borrowed when we weren't around, I wouldn't have cared. He said that was irrelevant and now he doesn't want us on his property at all. My wife and I think he's being dramatic, but obviously he's upset for a reason, so maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, that's so funny. Basically, you shouldn't have touched his stuff without asking. Even just a call or a quick text and be like, hey, is this okay?
People on Reddit said that, and I think OP commented that they don't even have each other's phone numbers.
So why is he borrowing? But I think it's hypocritical for him to just borrow rakes and things from you and not ask.
That's definitely hypocritical. It's also not the same as like patio furniture.
Right.
But
yeah,
y'all need to work that out. Yeah, I do think he's an asshole. I would be pissed if I came back from a work trip and saw that my stuff had been touched or moved around. I wouldn't like that at all.
Right.
Because if you do it out here, where else you been in my house? Like, that just opens the floodgates and it just leads to a lot of unanswered questions.
Next thing you know, you're just going to have a party in my backyard.
Right. On the same term, I wouldn't go to your house and I wouldn't use your rakes or your shovels or whatever. Even if it was leaning up against your house and I didn't have to go in a gate, that's just, you don't do stuff like that.
That's weird.
If you guys are cool, text each other.
Right.
Hey, I can't find my rake. Is it okay if I go over here? So yeah, I think he's an asshole, but it is kind of crazy that the guy has taken stuff from him before too.
Yeah.
There would be no question if it was very one-sided.
Because it's not irrelevant. It's very relevant. It's because you borrowed things without asking, he thought it was okay.
Right. He definitely upped the ante, but still.
For sure. Might as well just go in his refrigerator and take all his condiments for your party.
Right.
What did Reddit say? Did they vote?
They said he was the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. People are crazy out here.
Trying to be a good neighbor goes too far.
Doing the most. Okay, here's mine. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that she wasn't a virgin when we first met? Last year, my 42-year-old male, oldest son Caleb, 19 male, came out as gay. My wife and I were both raised in strict Catholic households, so I was shocked at first, but I still love Caleb and have been learning to open up my mindset. My wife, on the other hand, has been becoming completely religious and a zealous fanatic. She wasn't like this before, but something triggered her to become like this. She refuses to tell me what, but I have my suspicion that it was our son's coming out. Yesterday, our son came home from a college break and asked if his boyfriend, a fine young gentleman, I've met him before, could stay over the night. I said yes and imposed the same rules I would have on any straight couple. My wife, on the other hand, completely flipped. She said that she would not let sinful activities corrupt our house and that this moral debauchery could happen in the daytime, but not at night. Then I snapped and reminded her of her past. When we met, she was always sleeping around, partying constantly, and had zero issues with premarital sex. I told her that she's a hypocrite because she had committed the same sins as she was condemning. She told me that she is actively trying to atone for that, and I shouldn't mock her like that. She has been giving me the cold shoulder. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not. Sometimes you gotta check these hoes and try to act like they all pure when they get past their little stage that they went through.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I think it's interesting when people, you know, I don't know what you call it, like when they find the Lord.
Rebirth.
And then, yeah, they want to all of a sudden start Bible bashing and doing all this stuff when, I mean, that was you 2 weeks ago.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right. Right.
I think for her, it must be more of the fact that he's gay than, like, if he was bringing home a female, she probably been like, well, as long as you sleep in different rooms and stuff like that.
If her son was sleeping with a bunch of different women, she probably wouldn't like it if she's now saved and reborn and all that.
Right.
But it definitely wouldn't be the same thing as how she's reacting now. But no, I don't think he's wrong for doing that because everybody has a past. Everybody has done things that they aren't proud of, but you don't get to repent and then look down on other people who are in that current stage. You were there too. You're not any better than they are. And that's where I have a problem. So she needed that checking.
Yeah.
Because you're acting higher than thou when you was out here getting it all over the place and I still wiped you up.
Right.
I didn't judge you for it.
Exactly.
I didn't
and you're not going to do that to our kid.
Right.
Of all people.
Right. You also can't say that you accept him and then put boundaries and limits up on what he can and can't do.
Right.
Now, if you don't want overnight guests, it's your house. You can do whatever you want in your house, but you got to check yourself and say, if this was a woman, would I react the same way?
Right.
And it seems like that's not the case.
Yeah. Double standard for
Very interesting, because usually it would be reversed and it would be the dad who isn't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. I would imagine that being a very difficult thing for someone to come out and tell their parents, and now going through the introductions and all that. Like, let's not make it more harder on them than it needs to be. And the mom is just being really extra.
Yeah, she's doing the most, but that happens a lot.
It does, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it just came out, so there's no final verdict, but I doubt people are going to say that he's the asshole.
I doubt it. Fresh one.
Most people on Reddit seem to have sense.
Sometimes, child. More times than not, they do. Am I the asshole for going to a concert after learning my sister has stage 4 cancer? My sister, who we will call Janessa, just turned 32 around a week ago. Earlier this month, we found out that she is in her final stages of life due to stage 4 cancer. Because of this, she is hospitalized and we often visit her, but there really isn't anything we can do about it. Here's where I might be the asshole. Janessa has tickets for Tyler the Creator's tour for her and her friend and was going to go to his San Francisco show. But due to her being hospitalized, Janessa can't go. Because of this unfortunate situation she's in, I asked if I could take the tickets for me and my girlfriend. We have been long-term Tyler fans, so it will be an awesome and cheap experience. He put 2 exclamation points after that. My sister said, yeah, but the rest of my family has been calling me an asshole and heartless for it. Like, I'm still going to the concert, but Reddit, am I the asshole?
It's tasteless. It is.
Like, is this guy a comedian? He literally wrote, I'm still gonna go, Reddit, but am I like, you're being a smartass about this. You know you're a jackass. You don't really
care what anybody has to say.
You give no F's about this at all. You're gonna go to the concert. You're gonna enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna hope that nothing happens to your sister while you're at this concert that she previously paid for and can't go to anymore.
Nothing may happen, like she's just, I don't know. I think you already know that you're the asshole. You just wanted a reason to post.
You're hoping someone will make.
Yeah. They probably don't even care.
They probably don't care, but I'm sure a small part of them just kind of hope someone is like, I mean, why let concert tickets go to waste? She's probably going to be fine. It's just one night.
Hmm.
Just go.
I think it's less something will happen and more of you capitalizing on somebody else not doing well.
Right.
Like, you're just a jerk.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
so sucks you have cancer, but
Right. Life must go
I
on.
mean, how about them tickets though? You know, I've
Yeah.
been following Tyler. Like, that's crazy.
People are such scum. How old did he say he was?
He didn't say. He said that his sister was 32, so I would assume he's possibly within a 10-year range of that.
Yeah, it must be younger. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend that I'm staying with my husband? I've been close friends with this girl, let's call her Jane, for over a year. Our friendship started really well, with her kind of picking me up during a bad time. I've been with my husband for over 8 years. We have 2 children together. Jane worked with my husband for a couple of years before she left the job. They both have big personalities, so sometimes they would clash. So they didn't come around each other all that often. Jane also hates children. So when we hang out, I can't have my kids with me. It can't be at my house. It can't be something that involves other children. We had a good friendship, and we would vent to each other about our problems and give each other great advice on life. My husband and I went through a rough patch because our youngest son was hospitalized for a month, and it put a lot of stress on us. Our finances, our home life. I stayed at the hospital for a full month while my husband would work part-time and then join us. Our family kept our oldest son. Jane told me the entire time that I should leave my husband. Let's not do that. Stay out of married folks' business.
Right.
If I had the smallest problem, she would tell me that divorce would solve the problem. She also has pushed me to go home and be alone while my son was in the hospital, saying my husband could handle things and I deserve time to relax. I didn't want to. I wanted to be with my son. I told her things were going great and better than before, and she would still find small reasons to tell me to leave him. My husband and I have a deal where one of us is allowed to leave during nap time or bedtime if we find a babysitter for one of the kids. One child is disabled, one is a toddler, so it takes a lot to take on both and can be really exhausting. It was a decision we both came to easily, and it helped in not making us feel stressed. Jane didn't understand this very well and would say, "Your husband is a dad. He can watch the kids," and try to push me to go out with her. The other day, she sent me a Facebook post that said, "Staying in a toxic relationship for your kids is only showing them that they were forced to stay together." And I said, "No, thank you," to the image. She said, "Read it again." And when I declined, I finally said, "I need to say this as nicely as possible. Please stop telling me to leave my husband. I am happy, we are in a good relationship, and I like to be able to celebrate my successes with my friends. Please stop making me feel bad for being with him." And she has been ignoring me since then. I admit that my husband and I didn't have a healthy relationship for a little bit, but we are doing so great now. I just can't decide if I'm in the wrong because I've been thinking so much about it, and I might be overthinking it at this point. So, am I the asshole? Update. Her boyfriend texted me to say she was going into a surgery today. I had wished her luck and asked him if he had any idea if she was going to speak with me soon. He said that I made an offhand comment about his religion and that I wasn't being supportive of her relationship. I sent her a text wishing her luck on her surgery and that I only wanted people in my life who were willing to support me and my decisions, and I hope that she feels she had made the right decision because I was done. Thank you all for your great advice and making me feel better about everything. I never realized how much she was putting me down until last night, and I feel like I had a major wake-up call. Wow.
That was I mean,
Weird.
it sounds like Reddit clearly already told her that she was not being the asshole. I agree. She was not the
It's
asshole.
maybe the general consensus, but it basically was voted not enough info. But I guess in the beginning, I do feel like she gave us a sufficient amount of
I
information.
felt like it was enough information.
But that last little bit was kind of weird.
I don't know. I don't know how she went from telling the friend to stop, basically telling her to leave her husband, to them not talking, to then her making a snide remark about
His
the boyfriend's religion.
Right.
I don't know how we got from there to there.
Right.
But there is enough information. It sounds like she was just a cute little club, like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you have like club friends or just like going out friends? They aren't people who you really confide in. They aren't
Right.
people who you can who really have your best interests. They are just
Seasonal friends
who you're there to have a good time with.
Right.
Anything more than that, that's not what they're for.
Yeah.
She doesn't like kids. How can you have a true friend when you have kids and you can't have your kids around this person?
Right. And you're talking about your relationship and your family?
And she's telling you to leave your kid who is in the
Right.
house. Someone who doesn't give a fuck about kids will not
Mhm.
understand your desire to be there with your child.
Right.
I don't care about self-care and going home. Like, my kid is in the hospital.
Right.
What I look like being home with a face mask on,
Yeah.
with my husband up here, with like,
And going out with you.
you won't understand that. So no,
Yeah.
I don't think the friendship was that deep. So like, let it go. It served the purpose that it needed to serve.
Right.
And she maybe felt like she was taking advantage of the girl because she was there for her in her time of need. And
But she didn't even tell us in the beginning that the girl had a boyfriend. So I guess this whole time I'm thinking she's just your single friend.
want you to be single too.
Getting in the middle of your marriage, which everybody should know. Keep people out of your business when you're
Right,
married or in
right.
a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if she hates kids, that's just weird for you to consider her like your best friend.
That would be crazy. Like, I can only hang out with you in certain places. What?
Yeah. I can't have my kids there. You don't want to go to my house. I don't know. The whole thing is just weird. You guys weren't as good of friends as you thought.
No, not at all. So no, I don't think she's the asshole. I think the friend is the asshole. But it was still big of her. I understand you're going through surgery. I hope you make it out
Right.
okay.
But don't bother calling me and texting me because this is done.
That was weird to say on the day of her
Yeah.
surgery. She
Good luck
could have
with
left that
everything.
part out.
Yeah. The
Just-
whole thing was just weird.
you could have just checked on her afterwards if you were going to do all that.
Right. Exactly.
You want to get into a game?
Yeah.
You want to play
let's.
Would You Rather?
Yes.
All right.
Want me
Okay.
to go first?
Yeah, go ahead and do the honors.
Would you rather have to have lunch with your boss every day or your boss time how long you look at your phone?
Yeah. Have them time how much I look at my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
My lunch is my free time. And I would be fine having lunch with my boss, but not every single day.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not having that 1 hour during the workday be mine every single day.
I think I'd rather have lunch with my boss.
Well.
Your girl stays on her phone.
All right, my turn. Would you rather accidentally send a dirty text to your grandma or accidentally send a dirty text to your boss?
Oh God. I guess my grandma. I could not have that. Oh, like your grandma would be like, you know, like your family. There's a little bit of an understanding of like, ooh, your boss. No, I can't cross that line. That'd just be weird.
I'd rather send it to my boss.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just, yeah, it's family, but I mean, like, girl, I ain't trying to have her know me like that. Like, you know.
I'm not trying to have my boss know me like
I mean,
that.
I'm not, but out of the two. Hey.
That's interesting. That's so funny. Would you rather never get a face pimple again or never have a cavity again? I don't recall having a cavity.
I've had a cavity before. It didn't hurt. You get it filled. Pimples suck, though. Like, everybody sees those.
Yeah,
I'd rather never get a pimple again.
same.
Yeah.
If I had a cavity as a kid, I don't remember. And I haven't had one as an adult.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll take my chances with a cavity.
Yeah. I've had it.
As long as I don't lose a tooth.
Yeah.
We're
and
good.
It wasn't a big deal. Would you rather start dating one of your siblings' best friends or one of your siblings starts dating your best friend?
I'd rather date one of my siblings' best friends.
Mm,
Call me wretched, but
yeah, I would rather the same.
yeah,
It would just be super awkward.
yeah,
Yeah. Just put you in a really uncomfortable situation unnecessarily. And
yeah.
yeah.
Because you know how you would handle a situation, so you'd be in control of that. But then when it's out of your control, and now my sibling and my best friend, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it boils down to more of like your own decision making.
It would just be really awkward unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather be the very best kisser, but only from the third kiss on, or be the very best hugger, but only from behind? I don't know.
Kiss her.
Can you imagine only hugging people from behind?
Like you would sound like just a huge creeper. What are you doing?
Get off of me. Yeah, I'd be the best kisser.
Yeah.
Wouldn't matter if it's third kiss or not.
Yeah. I would take that. Would you rather be the class clown or the teacher's pet?
Teacher's pet, I suppose.
Me too.
I'm always trying to be like town jester.
I like the idea of class clown. But in terms
I like
of
the entertainment that they bring. That doesn't mean that I want to be said clown.
Right.
Like, I enjoy the clowns.
I feel like the clowns are the ones that the teachers like can't stand because they're always interrupting the class. So in terms of just overall benefit of being in the class and favoritism, I'd rather be the teacher's pet because like your life is going to be easier in class than the person who's getting on their nerves.
I want to be most likely to succeed. Not biggest clown. We're thinking long game here. Would you rather talk with your best friend weekly for an hour on the phone or see them once a year for a weekend?
The first one?
Yeah.
Are you even friends?
Yeah. If you're picking option B, you need to start reevaluating your friendship because
do you even know each other in that scenario?
That's funny.
That's weird. Would you rather be the world's #1 chess player or be the world's #1 Rubik's Cube speed cuber?
I think I would rather be a #1 chess player.
I think so too.
It seems more interesting to me.
I feel like there's more things you can do with chess. I think the Rubik's Cube, solving that really quickly is amazing. Mm-hmm. But after that.
Yeah. I mean, they both take skill and craft, but I don't know. Chess just seems very, like, demure.
It seems very distinguished.
Yeah.
Then they have tournaments and things like that. Maybe they have it for Rubik's Cube.
They do.
Okay.
That I know for a fact.
I guess I know more about the chess end of it in terms of like, extracurriculars and competitions and all that. That's what it seems like chess would take you further in terms of entertainment than Rubik's Cube, but I guess not. I guess Rubik's Cube has the same type of following.
Just like they have the same thing for puzzles.
Oh.
It's nuts. Like
how quickly you can solve a puzzle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like everybody has the same puzzle. You don't know what it is. And then they set like a timer and then you empty out the contents and you put the puzzle together. Like how fast you can put the puzzle together.
Okay, see, I didn't know that was a thing.
And then Rubik's Cube, same thing. Like it would with chess where you have to solve the Rubik's Cube. Like it's covered up and then like it's a real super competitive activity.
Huh. Okay. All right. Well, I still go with chess, but it's good to know that other stuff too. Okay.
Same. Knowing all that, I still go with chess.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Awesome.
All right. Cool.
All right, besties. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As usual, like, subscribe, share, tell your neighbor, tell your auntie, tell your cousins to check out your besties. Make sure that you're tuning in for our book club.
Yes.
Because, I mean, last time it was really pretty awesome.
It was.
It was a good pick. But yeah, let us know what your comments are down below, and we will see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye, besties.
Bye. Yeah.
I think it's less of something will happen and more of you shouldn't be asking. Oh, sorry. looking at him. You're like,
'Cause
really?
I'm just like,
I can't. It's like right by my eyeball.
like focus.